everybody, and welcome back to Hank's Think Tank. We're going to take another dip today. It's a little stormy outside, so we don't know what to expect. Might even lose power. Who knows what will happen in here. Y'all know how it goes. We got with us today a couple of really important people in Montgomery County. They're socialites, actually. We've got Ronnie Bubba Tullis and Sean D. Tullis. And, of course, I got Mark Hogan to my immediate left. And we're going to tear it up today. We're going to talk about several different things, one of those being constitutional carry. It's kind of a carryover from the last video that we did. And I'm glad to be back on camera, feeling better again. So if you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Get it done. So welcome, guys. It's good to see you. And I'm glad you were able to make it out today. Let's talk about a little bit about constitutional carry. You know, when it first came out, y'all were the first people I thought of, because being that y'all do the LTC class, I thought, man, this is going to hurt their business. But the more I looked into it, the more I realized it's actually going to help your business. So let's talk about it a little bit. Bubba, what do you think, man? I mean, how do you feel about constitutional carry for one, and how do you think it's going to affect the business that y'all do with the training y'all do?
Well, it really hasn't affected us at all. A lot of people still coming forward and want their license.
Yeah. And
they don't realize when you leave state Texas, you got to have your license anyway to be a recipient of the state. You know?
Right.
There's a lot of stipulations and amendments and laws that's changing come September 21st for constitutional carry. It sounds like a good idea. It politically it looks good to other states, but you know when you start looking at it, there's a lot of stipulations, laws that you got to look at before you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Carrying openly or concealed during constitutional carry. Shawnee knows a little bit more about it. She's been more applicant on the constitutional carry because she looks into it while I do other things.
Okay.
And so she's looking on doing constitutional carry classes so people won't get in trouble. It's a little hour or two.
There you go. Yeah.
We thought about that. She did actually, way before when it first was brought to everybody's attention about doing constitutional carry, and then it's going to be going into effect in September 1st. And we noticed a lot of other people, instructors, is trying to veer into that direction also. But
Makes
it's
sense.
about an hour or two long class, I believe, what she's going to put on. But she's going to have added to it, you know, maybe a basic gun safety class with that.
Yeah,
to offer
that's
a little
definitely
bit.
needed. That's the place to go with that.
Yes, definitely. That way, since they're not, if they don't want to take the class, at least they'd be a little more aware of gun safety while they do the constitutional class, which is a shorter class. It doesn't get you the license, but it gets you acclimated on the.
It gets you where you need to be.
Exactly.
So, Sean D., why don't you tell us a little bit about the difference between having a license in LTC and constitutional carry?
Okay, well,
and the other thing is, I'm not sure when constitutional carry goes into effect, so can you clarify that too?
Yeah, sure can.
Yeah.
September 1st is when constitutional carry will go into effect. The laws change every odd year, so the last time it happened was 2019. Here we've got these laws that are changing. Constitutional carry will go into effect. And there's quite a few changes that are going happen, but one of them that's very important is we've got school that's starting up in August, September in the area. And what people don't realize is in 2019 they made it where teachers or parents under the Castle Doctrine or with your license to carry, you could have your gun in your car and have it on school grounds. With the constitutional carry, if you carry and you don't have a license, you cannot have that gun within that school grounds. It has to be 1,001 feet or more from that school,
and
unless
that would
you have a license.
Greatly affect the school zones just driving by, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So if they get stopped and they've got a gun in their car, it would be a third-degree felony now.
Right.
If they have that. So.
But the Castle Doctrine wouldn't override that?
No, because the new law that's gone into effect, that affects that. So as a constitutional carrier, they can't have it on the school grounds. So all your teachers that have them out in the car as of right now, if they don't have a license, they'll be breaking that law. But as license to carry holders, we can actually still have it in our car and have it on the school grounds.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's just one of the big significant changes that
Right.
happened. Another thing that's happened that's
Say it out loud.
oh
Maybe don't give too much information out, or you just might as well just give the class right now. She
Hey,
wants
as
to.
long as I can pass the test afterward, I'm good with that. That's cool
Yeah.
with me,
No,
man.
she got, you know, Shonda, she likes to just carry it on, and she has no stopping point. And when she gets on a roll on that, and then
Yeah, but this is stuff we need to hear because I didn't know it.
yeah,
I didn't know that, so I mean,
Yeah.
that's good information.
Yeah.
there's
So-
Definitely.
Yeah.
just one other big one that I'll give. So with the constitutional carry, if you carry a gun on you, you cannot have a beverage. But come September 1st, if you are a licensed to carry holder, you can have a beverage, like at a barbecue or whatever,
Yeah.
and have your gun on you, and you will not get picked up for unlawful carry of a
Right.
weapon, a third-degree felony.
I understand that they ramped up in the negotiations leading up to this, ramped up some of the penalties for different things that I can't rattle off, but like Class A misdemeanors may be a third-degree felony now for certain things.
Yeah. If you're carrying a gun, if it's like a Class C misdemeanor, it'll make it up to an A or a B, or maybe an AB to a felony.
Yeah.
And a second-degrey felony is 5 years mandatory in prison. So
Really?
I mean,
Minim-
yes.
minimum.
Man, I ain't doing that.
but all aside, it sounds good.
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds
If you're
good.
over here in Alabama and say, "Hey, Texas got constitutional carry," heck yeah.
Right.
Until you look at all
So the
what's
LTC is really still the way to go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you've got more oops written in the law. Like if you make a mistake, where if you're a constitutional carrier, you're
Right.
straight a ticket or going to jail
Yeah, you're
or
on your
having a
own.
felony.
For instance, walking into an
against you.
establishment and not noticing the 30-06 or 7 sign.
That's correct.
And if you've got your LTC, you get on out of there or put your gun away or something. But if you're just constitutional carrying, they can just have you arrested.
Yeah,
right off the bat.
or a ticket. Or it just depends on on what the situation is, or if what type of establishment that it is, or
Yeah.
whether they can go in there or
A
not.
lot to know.
But it's real serious for the constitutional carriers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder how hard it'll be for you guys to convert people who just want to learn the constitutional carry part of it back to the LTC.
I don't think it'll be very hard. The people, because I've had quite a few people in class. I've already got classes going for Monday and Tuesday with quite a few people in the class. And I'm teaching them what the laws are now. And I'm also teaching what the constitutional carry,
Yeah.
because we have the test that they have to pass in the LTC. So when they learn what the constitutional carry is, they're very thankful that they are, in fact, getting the LTC, because now they're more, I guess, free
Yeah.
as far as what they're able to do,
Right.
and they're not so handcuffed on there. So I think as people are learning what these mandates and things are, I think it'll be a lot more like a selling point, if you say so,
Sure.
into getting the LTC. Yes, your Second Amendment rights, those are very important, but you've also got both sides of the political parties that are making these laws. One, might not want you having guns, where the other ones, they do. They want you to feel like you can protect yourself. But, then you've got the people that think, because I don't have to have training, that they don't want to get their LTC. They're very adamant
Right.
they're not going to get their LTC, but I think it's going to take people being charged or arrested and them hearing those stories.
There'll be a lot of them.
Yeah.
For them. And it might, slow down for a couple months, but I think that we're going to see an uphill swing
Yeah.
when people start hearing about that, especially with them not being able to carry into other states.
Right.
Yeah.
So how hard is it really to get an LTC as far as like background checks and paperwork and all that? I mean, do you have to be almost a perfect person, never have been busted for anything, and
No. Well, it's very easy. Like, we get people with some backgrounds, and and what I like to say is, you may have gotten caught where I didn't. I'm not perfect. I'm human. We all
Right.
make mistakes.
yeah, I got caught.
I was there.
Should I slap those hands now?
Maybe so.
So it just, it just depends on what it is. Of course, like if you have like domestic violence and you've been found guilty of it, those are some federal charges or really serious charges where
Right.
you're not going to be able to get that LTC.
But like, let's say, just for instance, you're 58 years old, you got in trouble when you were 18.
For what, smoking dope?
No, that's not a big deal, but something simple.
Because that's not simple.
Yeah, I guess smoking dope's simple, but
So, I mean, that's more than 5 years ago.
So they really don't look at that.
Yeah. So,
Unless it was a violent thing or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more like domestic violence, your felonies, things like that will
Yeah.
keep you away from getting that. Or if you're under a protective order against someone
Right.
currently, then that will definitely get you.
I
So,
would think so, yeah.
yeah, in our class, we pretty much we're a one-stop shop because we have fingerprinting services. We do have an Identico. We also assist with the paperwork where a lot of classes they're not able to or they just don't provide that service.
Okay.
And then we set them up for their fingerprints, and then they just turn around and then they do their fingerprints, and that's usually Monday through Friday. On the weekends, because DPS is closed, we don't have those services. They just have to simply just walk back in during the week.
How long is the average class?
I like to say it's from 9 to 3, just because
Yeah.
during the week you've got your paperwork and you've got
So
your
a full day.
fingerprints.
It's a full day course.
Yeah, but when you walk out, you're just waiting on your license in the mail.
Okay.
So a lot of classes aren't like that. So you still have 2 or 3 more steps after it to
Okay.
complete.
And so you got to wait for your license to be able to carry. You can't just pass and then start carrying. right?
Correct. So you have
Yeah.
your test. It's a 25 question test. You've got to pass that on the instruction that we've taught,
Okay.
in the class. Like I said, there's a lot of laws that have to go into it, and it's not just what's on the test. It's, actual, laws, penal codes and things that we have to go over.
Okay.
And so you have that, and then of course you have the gun range that you have to pass as well. So.
Okay. And is that for proficiency, or is it just for gun safety as well, like the range part?
So as
Do you have
far
to prove
as
gun safety as well, or is it just proficiency?
we go over the gun safety in the classroom before we go out to the range.
Okay.
When we get out to the range in our classes, we're just supposed to give them the test.
Okay.
So they do it at 3, 7, and 15 yards, and they have 50 bullets that they have to have, and then they're scored from that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people who have guns that don't know how to use them and don't know how to use them safely.
It's very scary,
So-
with the constitutional
Yeah.
carry. They're not having to
Yeah, there's nothing.
test. They're not having to take any courses or anything like
As
that.
long as you're legally able to buy a firearm, you can carry it, right?
Correct. And, we get people in the class. When you come to the class, you're supposed to know how to shoot. And some people, they've never shot before, but they get in there and we give them a little bit of tips. And sometimes they're actually the better shooters of
Yeah.
people who have shot before because they haven't learned those bad habits.
Complacency.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a guy at the range not too long ago, and you can tell he'd been doing this for a long time. He had several different pistols out there, and someone said something, and around he turned.
Yeah.
That gun just followed everybody around,
Yeah.
and cardinal rule.
Yeah, keep your finger off the trigger or your booger hooker off the bang bang switch is what we like to teach the kids.
Wow.
Another thing that we see a lot of is people looking down the barrel.
God.
Really?
I've got a jam, and they look down the barrel. Don't you agree?
Damn.
They've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Wow.
If it don't fire, they wonder why it don't fire. And their first action is to look down the barrel of the gun.
See if that bullet's hanging out the end of it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Man.
That's even when we do just do little brief classes for basics that's separate from the LTC. You see it,
Yeah.
and you have to get them aware of that because they're not used to carrying or even possessing their own
Right.
pistol but they want their security. You know, like I always said, there's no law that's ever been made to stop a criminal, ever in my whole life.
That's right. Yeah.
Ever. But they keep constantly making laws to stop the individual from protecting themselves and their families.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
When someone uses a firearm, no matter what situation it is, whether it be a crime or whatever, the first thing people want to do is banish firearms.
Right.
But if a knife is used, nobody wants to banish the knife. If a car is used to run over 20 college students at the college, nobody wants you to ride a horse. But as soon as the weapon busts, what the firearm does is keep you at a distance from that criminal. Is what it does. You don't want them to ever get an upper hand or get close to you.
Right.
And I think since the beginning of guns, it's always been a controversial topic for people. You know, I mean, even when they were first made. So, because it's loud, you know, it goes bang and a projectile flies out and, you know, puts a hole in somebody. And, yeah, I mean,
I always say
it's a controversial deal.
A gun is just a choice of weapon.
I think it's easier to shoot somebody than it is to stab them or beat them to death or whatever. It takes a lot less.
A lot less.
Because it's just,
yes, exactly.
just a finger pull.
Mm-hmm.
You can make that decision in a split second.
Split second.
Yeah.
You know, how did they blow up the Oklahoma building? Wasn't with a gun.
That's right. Killed a lot of people in that.
Killed a lot of people. How did they during 9/11? What happened there? I didn't see a gun one used.
Box cutters and
None
airplanes.
of that stuff has been grounded or stopped or even prevented. But as soon as they hear a weapon, but you got to remember, if you're walking down the road, I'm gonna give you an example. I always use this in my class. Chicago, safest state in the whole world. I mean, city in the whole world, right? That's what everybody hears. They're gun-free zone.
Yeah.
How come they got the highest crime rate? Tell you why. Because nobody there can protect themselves. Their city officials, whoever makes them the laws around there, by far, I guarantee you they're safe. I guarantee you their kids are safe. I guarantee you when they leave, they got armed security.
Sure.
And if not that, they are armed. But why don't they want their citizens, which is the majority of then there is of criminals, protected? If you're walking down the road, gun-free zone, no guns anywhere, a criminal walks out, got a gun. Why? It's a gun-free zone.
He didn't
He
follow the
shouldn't have
rule.
to have a gun, right?
Right.
But he does. But here you are with your little granddaughter walking down the road, and these idiots wanting to rob you, kill you, whatever they want to do. Where's your protection? There's not a police officer for every person in any city or anywhere.
Well, most of your mass shootings occur in a gun-free zone.
Yeah.
A school, you know,
You know
or
what
something
they
like
say?
that.
Open season.
Yeah.
Open season.
All the people that follow the rules are not able
Because
to
the
defend
lawmakers make it where people cannot protect themselves. That's what they're trying to do in a lot of states. Unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, that's them states, but this is our state.
Right.
We believe in protection. So that's what we're trying to do. That's why we give out and we do our handgun class. That's why I started that 16 years ago, and that's why she's picking it up too, because we want to make sure we try to give the best. We even give discounts. We're not here to make no money. Trust me, we don't make no money on what we do. We just help people out, and then and a lot of money we do make. Money that we do make, we don't.
Hey,
make.
y'all should make money. There's nothing wrong with making money. That's not,
No,
not
well,
a bad thing.
we got money, but if we just donate what we do make.
We
Right.
donated
And-
to the
and-
PD for
Yeah, no, I was
police
I was
trainings.
actually gonna get into y'all's works in the community in a little bit, but I know that y'all do a lot of donating of your time and of your money and everything else. And that's a noble thing, but at the same time, you still gotta make money. I mean, it's America. We're capitalists. That's what we do.
Oh, we make money.
That's good.
We make money. We don't make much off of that. It's
Yeah.
just something we do on side. You see what I see, Hank? You see what I do, and I don't make money on anything I do.
So let me ask you this. So I know that you have your LTC course. Do y'all have any like tactical training or any kind of training that you do at the range itself to teach people how to draw, to teach people how to clear malfunctions, to teach people just basic gun safety in a real life situation? You know what I mean? Do y'all have any classes like that? Are you planning on doing anything like that?
Well,
And would they be available to
yeah,
your constitutional carry people or just your LTC people?
it can be available to anybody in the whole community
Okay.
that wants to show up if once we do have a class like that, we've been asked that several times, even child safety classes.
It's a great idea, man.
And,
Yeah.
and we've been wanting to implement all that. But like she says, I'm so busy.
Yeah.
The idea's there, but then that does cost money.
Yeah.
So in order to do something like that, we'd have to go out and work on getting donations, and the donations would go for whatever we intend on
supplies and
doing.
things
But it's all for the community.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, Shondi. She's a good selling point. She speaks well. You notice how she was nervous when she came in here. She said, "Oh, I don't know if I can." Yeah. And all of a sudden, you can't even stop her. But I told her, I said, "Look, if you want this done, you gotta get on track." I'm so busy. When I met her, I said, "I'm the busiest man you ever meet," and I'm steadily, and that's what I do before her.
Yeah.
And then when she realized that's what we do, even when we're together, so she just jumped on board.
Yeah.
If not, the train just got to keep trucking me.
That's it. So how is business? Is it pretty good? Things have
Yeah.
been going well?
It's good. I'm trucking along, staying busy, doing the LTC courses, planning on implementing the children's classes here during the summer.
Okay.
We're looking at hunters education classes, some boaters education, CPR classes, different things. We're hosting a class next month in August with Law Shield to also go through with some more of the constitutional carry from the lawyers part. We're going to be doing that side. We're also we're just so busy with the gun classes and trying to do that, plus the fingerprinting business.
Yeah.
And then of course keeping up with the kids and the grandbaby.
And so the fingerprinting thing and the picture thing, all that can be used like for TWIC cards and stuff outside of the whole gun realm too, right?
So we're a state program, so the only thing that we do that we don't do, make it easier, is the TWIC or the for the passports, like for the airport.
Right.
For you to speed that along. That's a federal program.
Okay.
But we do a state in hazmat. So we have like your different professions like real estate, teachers, your LTC carriers, hazmat, different things like that. They're able to come in and get those.
Cool.
And because we're a walk-in facility, all they have to do is make their appointment, and no matter when or where their appointment is, they can actually just walk into our office anytime from 7:45 to noon or 1 to 6:45 at night. So as long as they just have the appointment in the system, whatever works for them, we're going to bend over backwards to get them taken care of that day.
Cool.
No wonder
No
you're
wait.
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and we just got our FFL. So
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
We
but
just
that
got
was
it day
rough.
before yesterday.
I'm
so.
surprised they didn't come with you.
The interview was long enough.
It was
Yeah, I'm
6
sure.
hours.
Was it really?
Yeah,
6
with
hours?
the ATF agents. So.
Wow.
It was quite long. So,
So y'all going to get into the ammo business, or what? What are you going to
Guns
do?
and ammo.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're gonna do that. It's really a one-stop shop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, holsters and that whole ball of wax, I
Come
guess.
class without a gun. Hey, hold on a minute.
There you go. That's cool.
Yeah.
We rent, sell, or levy, whatever you need.
Well, congratulations on the FFL. I know
Thank
those aren't
you.
easy to get. You
Yeah,
know?
thank you.
Yeah, and there's a lot of paperwork and just BS involved in that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's-
Especially nowadays.
yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure of, but I'm pretty sure it's changed from way back when because everything's getting more stricter.
Yeah, just
But-
be cool with your record keeping, man, because they love to audit people.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She made that clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So, Bubba, I know that you've had some political aspirations in the past. I know there was some talk about maybe you running for governor before, and I think we even talked about the possibility of you becoming a state representative. So,
yeah.
I know you're a busy dude. How are you going to find time for that? You must be just Bubba Butter, just spread out thin.
Well,
know?
the reason why I was wanting to run for governor because I'm for the people of the state of Texas.
Right.
Unlike,
Yeah, we've talked about that. We've had long
Exactly, we
conversations
sure
about
have.
that. Yeah.
You're right, and I try to explain that to people because I've walked a mile in everybody's shoes. I've been in construction 37 years with Empire Steel.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That is a long time.
Yeah, and then
Makes
I'm
you,
also,
about 39?
well, plus or minus. I was 42, but
Started walking, stealing diapers, you know.
I'm also a first responder, police officer, so I know basically mostly all the aspects and what people need. So I told Shondi, I said, you know what? I know it's a jump from 0 to 60. I said, but I was just going to give it a try. So I was just trying to do an independent.
It's been done, man. You know, I mean, people have come out of nowhere, you know, and gone a long way. So I mean, it's a possibility.
Well, what's so great about today in times is social media.
Absolutely.
And before you had to go out and shake hands and kiss babies.
And mailers through the post office.
And babies are nasty. Have you ever kissed a baby? No, I had to do it when I was running for MSID.
I didn't kiss my own baby.
Do I kiss you, baby?
I hope so.
So I figured, I said, you know what? I'm not wanting to gain anything. I want to make sure people are safe and protected, and I know how it is when I was growing up, when I was old enough and I was on my own. Know how it is when you work construction and you get rained out and you're wondering your paycheck, do I need to pay my bill or do I need to eat? Which one?
Right.
Lights or not. So I know I've been there.
And got so many politicians up there that telling everybody what to do, and they never run a damn business in their life.
In their life.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. They're born rich, and spent, and spoon-fed everything they needed to know to manipulate people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what their job is. Once they're in there, I told her, I said, you know what? If you're in office and you tell people whatever you tell them to get in office, you need to hit that door running, son. You don't wait until right before the next election to make a difference. Right. You make a difference when you walk in that door. Okay, that was my feeling. Well, my campaign manager, when we was going about it, she said that would be a very long shot.
Mm-hmm.
First off, you got to get known through the state of Texas.
Yeah, there's a lot of counties in the state.
A lot of counties.
236, I think.
I used to know the count up until you said that.
234, I think.
And
how many counties are there in Texas, Mark?
234.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark's an expert in geography. Watch this. How many states are there in America?
In America, in the southern half of the eastern portion, there are exactly, the thing. It works for some people.
How many people are in this room?
People? Kind of people.
Which side of the room are we talking about?
Yeah. Are they all voters?
Well, like I was saying, it was an idea, and I do believe that if I ran and won, it would be, I think the people would have somebody at their level.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I believe. So after going over everything and doing what we're trying to do to get on the ballot, it's like virtually impossible.
It's rough, man.
It's not that it's not that easy to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
As an independent.
And you got to raise millions and millions and millions.
And the money raising.
Yeah.
Advertisement, expensive, what have you. The money raising, I believe, if you got a good campaign manager, she or he can make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, since that was a good idea, and it was kind of thrown out the window after a little while of us trying, so I told her, I said, look, she said, why don't you try for something local? I said, well, the thing is I'll be 54 this year. And I said, 54, something local, take me 20 years, I'll be old as Biden. I said, I don't see that happening. Right. So I said, there's nothing wrong with jumping from here to here and bypassing all that. And I said, but it's a people vote. So if the people vote you in and they see that's what you want, but they're only limited, right? You only got, okay, I got 3 people to choose from. Which one? I don't like neither one of them. Just pick one. That's why a lot of people don't vote. A lot of people don't vote because they don't like none of them.
I hear it all the time.
None of them at all.
Or it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Or it doesn't matter. And they see that. They say, well, it don't matter if I vote. Well, here in the state of Texas, it would matter. It's a people vote. And if you voted honestly, and sometimes it's name recognition, and popularity that wins you to vote.
Oh, it's definitely
you're a cheerleader in school.
Contest,
who you think's going to be homecoming queen? That's a given, right? Same thing, name recognition and popularity. But then they start seeing how that person is, and you say one thing wrong that the majority of people don't like, you're already tarnished, and that will be used against you. You can do 10,000 good things, and one thing will screw you up.
Well, you
That's
bet
right.
your opponent or anybody's opponent would be digging back all the way through grade school for something ugly you said to a certain kind of person.
It's
Or
okay. I ain't like Clinton. If I inhaled, I'm gonna tell you I inhaled.
Did you inhale?
Huh? Yeah.
walked right into
Come on
that.
now. but if they want to know something about me, they ain't got to listen to a lie on social media or on the TV press. They can just ask me because they know I tell them. Everybody knows I tell them straight up. Hey, Bubba, did you do this? Sure did.
Yeah. You know, what he was just saying made me realize I could never run for anything again because I've said so much shit on this podcast. You know?
Yeah, you made your own commercials against yourself.
Well, I know it's so new, but he forgot also one other thing that he's doing, and he just graduated from basic training for the Texas State Guard last week. So
That's
he's
cool.
now a military member. So
Wow.
Amen, brother.
Thanks for
Thank
your
you.
right at
service.
4th
You got
of
it,
July,
right.
so celebrate that.
Wow. So that'll keep you away, what, a weekend, a month, something like that?
It will.
Wow.
It will, and then I had to hear her whine about it. But it's all right, baby. It's all right, baby.
Because I miss him.
But it's something I wanted to do. Me raising my kids
Mm-hmm.
and everything is you just can't leave that.
Right.
You know, I wanted to go in Desert Storm. I couldn't do it because I had to work and raise my kids, which
Yeah.
I didn't mind that one whatsoever. Now I got time.
Yeah.
Kids are virtually grown. Got one at the house at 13. But besides that, the Texas State Guard, perfect. And they do a lot for everybody, and that's what I'm
Sure.
for. You know,
So are you a full-time sheriff's deputy?
I am reserve
Okay.
deputy sheriff for Cincinnati County.
Okay. For
Yeah.
San Jacinto? Oh, okay. I
San
thought it was
Jacinto.
Montgomery. Okay.
No,
San
no.
Jacinto's
And
cool.
there's a reason why it's San Jacinto.
Okay.
It's because we own property in San Jacinto,
Okay.
and so when I go to retire, I can go full time in San Jacinto and be right there by the house.
Right. Hey, what is the consensus with law enforcement that you've seen on the constitutional carry? I mean, are they dreading it? Does it not matter to them? Are they looking at September 1st like
on the law aspect,
Yeah.
majority of your police officers don't agree with it because now you got people walking around armed that have no clue.
Yeah.
Okay, and now it's without probable cause. You're walking with a gun. You just can't go walk up there. Let me see. Let me run you and make sure you have this gun. And still, you can't do it.
Right.
You still ain't gonna be able to do it then either. So if one half doesn't or the other. So no, law enforcement don't agree with it. But I started thinking about it. Why is this being applied to the state of Texas being so strict? Because it's political. It looks good. It does.
Yeah.
Any state that just opened up constitutional carry, regardless on how strict it is, it looks good. Especially the other states and people in the state, and they're going, "Oh, okay, now we got constitutional carry."
Yeah.
Yeah, but the penalties and stuff are strict.
there's a whole lot of
And,
details involved?
but the training is very important, like you said, very important for anybody. And I've in 16 years of LTC classes, CHL back then, hunters very proficient. They can shoot 500 yards in dead nut, okay, but they wasn't sure about pistols because
Handguns, yeah.
nobody carried a handgun then, even now, just carry them and practicing. Hunters go shoot every day. They line their sights up. They go practice, make sure their guns proficient.
Right.
But not with handguns.
Right.
People ain't gonna go set up a dummy and go shoot a dummy every day.
Right.
And so yeah, you're right. They should at least implemented a class to constitutional carry to do that. But that's why we're going to do constitutional carry classes, because we don't want people to go to jail because
It's slick, and I like it.
because
I like
what is that? Ignorance of law is no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
What they're going to say when you go to jail.
Yeah.
Should have known.
Yep.
We're not going to sit here.
And hey, Mark, to expand on your question a little bit, I did talk to a police officer, local guy, not too long ago about LTC holders. And he said that generally the police like LTC holders when you pull somebody over as soon as you run their license or whatever, because they've been vetted. They've had their fingerprints done, they've had their FBI background check, and they know they're good people right off the
Right.
bat. You know, so they don't have nothing to worry about. I
Exactly.
mean, they know they got a gun, but at the same time, they know they're vetted and and they're not
Makes sense, yeah.
Charles Manson or something like that.
Yeah.
Hank Bat. Just
Yeah.
some weirdo out there
Yeah, it
carrying
is scary.
carrying 3 guns.
Yep.
None of them have bullets.
That is true.
So-
And you protect. You know how many LTC holders that would carry a gun to help police officers out?
Oh yeah.
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 There've been quite a few.
I've heard a few of them. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think it's a strange. I was looking, and this was a while back. I looked it up, maybe a couple of years ago when it was still CHL.
Uh-huh.
And out of all the CHL, they did some sort of survey of I think 10,000 CHL holders, and out of that, the number of people who actually carry was real low, like less than 1,500 or so. I was like, what the hell? So a lot of people still go, they get the training, and they're able to carry, but it's uncomfortable for them.
It is.
They don't want to have a gun poking them in the side and poking them in the back, and not me, man. I want a big old shotgun rifle.
And there's a lot of
Behind
people
my
like
ear.
that. A lot of people come to our class don't even own a gun yet.
Really?
At all.
When they take the
At
class,
all.
still don't
That's
have a
why
gun.
they rent.
Yeah,
That's why
they
they
rent
rent
a
a
gun
gun.
from us.
Wow.
Or I tell them to borrow a gun. If
Yeah.
you ain't got a gun, if you got a cousin got a gun, just borrow a gun, because nobody wants to get the gun if they ain't going to pass the class.
It makes
It's a deal.
sense. Yeah.
And
Guns
it's-
are expensive.
Yeah.
Unless you buy them like I do.
And I tell everybody in class, if you're going to get this license, carry, because I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Makes sense.
and a lot of people are feared of using the gun, and it's not because of the turd that they just protected themselves from, or whatever the case may have been. It's because they're scared they're going to jail with no witnesses, how they're going to prove their case, so on and so forth.
Right.
It's going to cost them a lot of
Oh
money.
yeah, it's going to be an ordeal.
It'll be an
whether
ordeal.
justified or not.
And I tell them this: I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6.
Mm-hmm.
If you carry by 6, you want there, you can't got to plead nothing.
That's right.
And if you're trying to protect yourself from this guy right here, that's what you need to deal with.
Yeah.
Your choice. If you have to say only if I would have, it's already too late. And I say that in my class.
Yeah.
That means that you should have made an action at the time, then procrastinated, and now you're already tied up and they're torturing you, or whatever the case may be.
Violence is way up too.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of road rage shootings and,
Oh,
and a
yes,
lot of
I've seen
home
that.
invasions and all that kind of crap. I
Crime,
worry about that
as a
all-
general rule, is way up. Violent crime and rapes and carjackings are way up all across the country,
Yeah.
because it doesn't help when you have politicians slapping these guys on the wrist, give them another PR bond. They may already be out on 1 or 2 or 3, and they go kill somebody.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're trying to restrict our right to defend ourselves. Doesn't take a genius to figure out why we need a Second Amendment.
Same politicians that are protecting themselves.
Yeah.
It's the same ones.
They
That
got
just as long as
security.
you put them in office, they're in control now. They'll teach you what you want to hear before they get in there, and once they get in there, it's like they're trying to. You know what I always say? This is what I tell everybody. In my opinion, it's a low-line dictatorship. That's what exactly
It
it
is.
is. Am
It
I wrong?
actually-
It's low line. It's not
yeah.
big as Hitler, but it's once they're in there, they're going to tell you what to do. That
Yeah.
means they're controlling your life, but easy,
Right.
not as rough as it was.
Those
in
are the
war.
kind of people that look at the Constitution as an obstacle. How are we going to get around this? What does that
Yeah.
really mean? You can't do this. These can be rescinded.
Yeah.
We'll give you those rights back as soon as we can.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
Bill of Needs.
Well,
Bullshit.
the Patriot Act circumvents the Constitution completely,
yeah,
and it made it, and it's been amended.
That
And
was
the Patriot Act is,
that was a 911 thing.
They should have wrote that on
No,
toilet
no.
paper, man.
Yeah.
You know? So
And
Yeah.
been abused. A lot of
Sure.
people, warned about that.
yeah, yeah, it's been something.
Ain't it?
Well, we get people, that take our class for all kinds of different reasons, and we've had students that have actually survived carjackings
Yes.
that have scars from bullet wounds in their head. And I've had a couple of those. Well, he had one, a year ago, Yvonne, and then
We've had a lot of people.
I had a guy just recently too that was shot, and he has a scar too.
Yeah,
Wow.
because some people come and take the class to get their license to protect themselves, but a lot of people come in there because of the events that happened to them. Like she said, we had one that was shot in the face and the head twice.
Yeah.
She didn't have a gun. She wasn't protected with a mother, so on and so forth, but it happened. And people that's Walmart in the parking lot, the mall in Woodlands.
Yeah, you never know.
They got
It
robbed.
can
We
happen
had a
anywhere.
couple just moved to the Woodlands the first time they went to the mall, got robbed at the mall parking lot. So you just never know when the event's going to happen,
Yeah.
because there's no psychic, there's no politicians, there's no police officers,
Right.
there's nobody can dictate when that man's going to walk up and what his
And the
intentions
bad
are.
guy is going to dictate when that happens. It's always going to be a
Exactly.
surprise. Yeah.
Yep. And he's the only one. And so that's what I said. Everybody needs protected. It's just a choice of weapon. They don't. The politicians need to realize that, and everybody needs. It's just a choice of weapon.
Right.
You know, it's just a choice of weapon that keeps you at a distance, and it's got more strength than a knife would have. And,
Right.
And you could be the baddest man in the world, whoop everybody's butt right now, but all it takes is one slip up, and you're done. Right.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a story that happened years and years ago. I had a friend of mine. He was telling me a story that he had a buddy of his. He loved stopping cars, road raging, and pulling them out of cars and beating them up until his last time. And what happened was he picked on the wrong guy. He walked up to the car, angry, road raging. He said that's just what he does. He went to grab the guy out of the car, and the guy pulled a gun, shot him in the head, and drove off. And I told him, I said, don't look like he's that bad anymore, does it?
Right.
But he thought he was the baddest man in the world. It doesn't matter how it is. The situation unfolds. I'm going to tell you another thing. People say that if you're carrying a gun openly, you're more susceptible on getting shot because they see that.
I've heard that.
Well,
You're the
I'm gonna
target.
tell you what. You
Really?
can ask-
I haven't heard that, and that seems like a weird statistic
let me
to
just
me.
tell
It seems
you.
like it'd be the opposite. you know?
Well, every incident that's been under fire has been nobody's ever had a gun on them. Everybody that's been shot didn't have a gun on them with a license, as I'm saying. Okay, so I haven't heard anybody that's open carried a gun. Personally, I haven't heard anywhere in the state of Texas that's been carrying a gun, and they were the first ones that shot when they walked in the store. A criminal wants easy in, easy out. When a
Right.
police officer has to deal with a criminal, they're not a fight there, they're just trying to get away. That's their intent. They don't want to go to jail, right?
Right.
They're not going to toe-to-toe. They're not going to Mike Tyson nobody. They want to get away as fast as they can.
Sure.
Yeah, they're not
Whatever
looking for a fight. They're not looking
That's
looking
right.
for resistance.
Easy
They're looking
in,
for an
easy out.
easy target. Yeah.
That's right. So when they walk into the store, it can be looked at different ways, but I always say it's inevitable. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Whether you carry a gun or not, whether you open carry or concealed, it's going to happen. Because the criminal mind is just something that needs to be worked on.
Right.
You know, and you're right. As soon as accountability has been made and restricted to the people that let them out of prison, not nothing but a heinous crime. I'm not really saying anybody that smoked weed. I mean, went to jail because he had a couple joints on him or whatever. I'm talking about a heinous crime where that he's been incarcerated for, and you're going to let him out anyway. The accountability needs to be to whoever lets him out, because there have been several times all the criminals been let out on a heinous crime has always been ended up in the same spot.
It's like once a week right here
Every
in
time.
Houston.
And so you got to look at, until that's accountable for, and the people that let them out are accountable for, it's always going to happen. And then once they start going to jail for the same crime he has done because they released him, guess what? Crime rate would go down, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not releasing them. And as soon as they seen the penalties are more higher and stricter, when you did this, you spent a lifetime in prison. Well, the crime don't fit the punishment. Really?
Right.
That life right there didn't fit the punishment? The Bible says eye to eye or tooth for a tooth, right? Or whatever the case is, Right? So
Yeah.
what's the difference? I'm just saying everybody needs to be protected no matter what. If you're going to carry and you can legally own and possess a gun under state and federal law, should be able to.
Sure. I agree.
But get trained, no matter how you want to.
That's right.
And
Do that.
I'm gonna go over this one time in my eyes, and I know that's why I want to run for governor. There's so much that we can put out there, but we don't. And we was talking about state representatives. At least I can go up there and make a difference on that.
Sure. Yeah. Reps
Soon
are a
as my
big
baby
deal.
gets me on the ballot over here, but she's working on it. I don't know when, but she's working on it. Let's just say, I'm gonna give you an example. Your daughter's 18 years old. The more all your rapes and kill or murders of young girls are from 18 to the under the age of not carrying a gun. You believe that? Or even actually younger.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about at 18, they see you as an adult. Why can't they only possess a gun? Why can't your daughter at 18, when she's driving somewhere, possess a gun to protect herself from being raped and killed? Why? Because the politicians don't want that to happen. If they did, they would change the law to say, you know what? Their daughter's out there. Their daughter's already grown if they even got a kid, right?
Right.
So why would they even think about anybody else's safety? This should have been implemented a long time ago with the proper training and everything. I think the child, your daughter, my daughter, his daughter, everybody else's daughter, son, or whatever, if with this proper training, a little more extensive training, since they just become adults, can legally protect herself. Right now, there's no protection like we have.
Right.
As an older adult, we can protect ourselves with a gun, where a younger child that gets raped and killed has no protection.
Right.
Zero.
And they don't take into account the element of peace through firepower. So, like, if you have a room full of people, everybody's armed in that room, more than likely nobody's going to pull out a gun and start shooting.
Sure, no.
You know,
Unless
so
it's
it's
suicidal.
peace through firepower. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
our governments do it. That's why we have 13,000 nuclear
don't-
weapons.
don't have a lot of
that's,
robberies
That's an
at
actual
gun shows.
number. Got that number yesterday. 13,000. 13,000 nuclear
crazy.
weapons. Peace through superior firepower.
That's it.
You know, that's it. Who's going to launch on us? We can eliminate half the world.
You know why? Because what you do is you put the fear of God in them. You put the fear of God in somebody, they'll back off. Unless it's suicidal. You got to remember, there's some suicide.
Mutual destruction.
Yeah, that's usually the naked guy with a knife. From what I've been
Really?
told, I had a cop tell me, he said the worst person you can come up on is a naked dude with a knife. It's going to get bad.
Yeah.
It's going to get really
You
bad.
can't reason with a naked
they're
dude with a
freaked
knife.
out. Yeah, they're freaked out. They got a knife. And,
Something drastic happened to them, and you don't know. It's hard to talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
You can't.
yeah.
Well, touching base back on 18-year-olds not being able to carry a gun, one of the things that did change with the constitutional carry, you have to be 21 years of age or older to be able to get your LTC. Well, if you're covered underneath a protection order or domestic violence, as of September 1st, you can come to one of our classes and we have an emergency form that we're able to give to the state. Once we do the fingerprints in that class, it's sent up to the FBI. We send that form along with the application up to the state, and the state is required to give them their license to carry if they qualify with it, you know, with their background, within 10 days of the time that they do their fingerprinting.
But you still have to be 21, right?
No, this is at 18
Oh,
years
really?
old
Wow.
under an emergency thing because they've
Emergency.
had some kind of domestic violence.
They have to
or,
prove that up with restraining orders or
yeah.
court
Yes.
records or
So
that
we'll,
kind of thing.
we'll
Bruises.
upload that
Yeah.
to the state, but it goes with an emergency form. We fill all that out. We submit that to the state, and basically we're pushing that to an emergency department,
Oh, that is-
and they can get that. That's an awesome thing
Yeah,
that
it's a
came
good
out.
thing.
That's good.
with
That's such a
the
great thing that y'all
constitutional carry.
handle that too, because a lot of people see that paperwork with the different entities and they
know.
go, "Oh my God, I
Yeah.
ain't got time for all
You
that."
know, we get people that come into the class, or I've heard other stories where people come in for fingerprints and they took a class somewhere else, and they find out at the end of the class, hey, the paperwork's not done, and then they're like, maybe they're older, you know,
Right.
they don't know how to use computers or anything, and they're like, well, I just wasted my money, I'm never going to get a license to carry. That's not fair.
Right.
You know, it needs to be made easier, or people can contact us and say, hey, can you assist me with this and pushing it through and getting the fingerprints. We're glad to do that with anyone that takes any class. They can call us. We've sat in numerous meetings with attorneys just so we can be up on the laws and to make sure that the information that we're giving them is correct. We're super excited about the new laws that are coming up on September 1st with the constitutional carrier. You know, it's better for just everyone altogether, but not in the sense as a constitutional carrier with all the third-degree felonies and class A misdemeanors. You're kind of more that way, but the whole thing with being able to expedite that. Or let's say you were in the military and you got a medical discharge at 18 years old. You don't have to wait till your 21st birthday to get a license to carry. As long as you have that DD 214 as of September 1st, if you're 19 years old, you can come to us and we can go ahead and get all that done and get you your license as well under the new law.
That's cool. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, I molded her.
You molded
molded
her?
her. That's why she speaks so well.
Is that it?
Good job.
Yeah. She
Great
did
job.
a good job, didn't
Yeah.
she? I like it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Go ahead, baby. We listen.
That's all I had.
So
Oh, yeah.
when does it come up for the state representatives elections for this area?
Oh no, baby. Since you're my half campaign manager, when is it?
It's next year.
There you go.
Is it next year?
It's next year.
So you're going to get them on the ballot?
I'm going to work on it. I'm going to start
Yeah.
working on that this week. We
Yeah.
discussed it this weekend, so I'm going to start working
Yeah,
on it.
You
we
still
made
going to
that
run
change.
as an independent? Or are you thinking about running as a Republican?
I would love to run independent for the people.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get on the ballot as an independent.
Yeah.
So she's going to
For the
work
state
on everything, and we would definitely let you know
Yeah.
how that goes.
Well, I definitely want to have you back on if you decide to run. So I'd like to
Yeah.
talk about
Oh, yeah.
some issues, state issues,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah,
we'll do
because
that.
people are out there. They want somebody because it's a busy world, and people, and especially in the state of Texas, since we are a growing, very very populated
Sure.
state,
Yeah.
because everybody and his brothers come to Texas.
You know it.
Yeah.
A lot of
California.
I
Californians
see
and New
in
Yorkers
California.
here.
We see so many
California's gonna be
California
empty.
places. It's crazy.
There's a max exodus out of California,
Yeah.
and there's a reason for it.
There's a reason for it,
California's
and the
just
people can't change the people they
destroyed.
put in office, and they think they're getting a good deal. I'm gonna give you an example of what happened. You probably remember this, and I mentioned it in my class also. It's about Virginia, about wolves and sheep clothing, right? Virginia governor. You remember when he got elected?
Northcutt.
And he got elected, and he promised people and told people things, and when he got in there, he tried taking the whole state's guns. You remember that? Then they and then they protested at the Capitol. Everybody had a gun at the Capitol. People from other states went there to protest on their behalf, and then he changed his tune. You know why? Because he was forced into changing it because he didn't tell people his what he intended to do.
yeah,
right?
his agenda.
Exactly.
But monetarily, it would have destroyed him anyway, and that's
Oh, yeah.
why he changed his mind.
Yeah, he had
so
to.
it always
because-
boils down to the dollar.
So you can't believe everybody that sounds good to you because they promise you the world, and until they get into power, it's nothing. We see that all the time with
Yeah.
people elected. The
Sure.
reason why I would think I would make a difference because I haven't been spoon fed. I don't need that money.
Right.
I ain't easily nowhere near can be manipulated or bought out because I could care less about it.
Right.
But what I do see is your kids walking down the road, you're walking down the road to make sure you're protected. I want to know everybody's concerns may not be important to the next person, but guess what? It's important to you. So I want to hear that. If you try to call somebody right now, nobody answers your phone. Nowhere. In the Capitol, nowhere. I mean, besides the secretary.
Yeah.
Then they'll file it with all the rest
I'll
of the
give them the
paperwork.
message.
Yeah. So my intent was I may not get your phone call right then and call you back, but I guarantee you I will call you back.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can't take care of your concern. That's what it's all about. It's somebody, it may be an issue and it may be a personal, but you know, it would help them at least if you could just talk to them and say, okay, give them, see what the ins and outs is and maybe just make them feel a little better than what it is, because a lot of people are concerned.
Just show some concern and that you care about it. People feel like they're talking to a wall with these
Yeah.
politicians, you know, that
Yeah,
don't do anything for
they
them.
don't do nothing for them.
Yeah.
Nothing.
They sure ask a lot when they're trying to get up there.
Exactly. And then when the election comes close, then hey, look what they did for us. Okay, you was elected 3 years ago. Why didn't you do something then? Why does it got to be right before the next election? That's crazy. That doesn't
Right.
even make sense. Well, to them it does, because now they're saying, hey, look what I did for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if I told you something and this is what it's going to be, I'll let you know step by step either why it ain't happening or why we just made it happen.
Yeah.
That's what I would do, because people want to know. They don't want to be put behind the sheet and not see anything, blindfolded, until, they want to know information when it's not given at the time and saying, hey, he promised us this. Here it is 2 years later. What's going on? And then they come up with some crap that somebody just wanted made up. And here, just tell everybody this, just shut them up.
Yeah.
There's a difference in us and them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then as soon as we get people like that out, the more we have us in there.
A lot of them forget who's working for who.
Exactly. They can be bought out the way they say it. I hear it all the time. Oh, he just got bought out. He's being paid for it right now. And all because of what? The almighty dollar.
That's it.
I mean,
I think they'll have all their sponsors on patches on their shirts and stuff. Who you sponsored by? Who's your big donors?
If it was mandatory, they'd have to wear 2 jackets.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to get in to make a difference. We do a lot in the community, so I figured years ago, I was raised, man, words means a lot. Okay? If you're going to do something, do it, and don't beat around the bush, because as soon as you tarnish that, you're screwed and you can't never get it back.
at the end of the day, all you have in this world is your balls and your word.
Yep.
That's it.
What do I have?
So your theoretical ball.
I knew you were stepping on it.
Sorry. Here we go. I've met some females who got balls, that's for sure.
I was told last night in that same conversation, we do have them. We just have them up on our chest.
Yeah. There you go. So I've seen you guys at a lot of social functions, and so I know that you're well known in the community. And I know a lot of other couples that are also well known in the community, but not as well known for their charitable contributions. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit too, because I know you guys are really, really active in doing stuff for kids. And I heard about your big thing that you did with bicycles at Christmas and Easter baskets at Easter. And this was during the COVID time, you know, when things were kind of rough for everybody.
Right after I got out of the hospital.
Yeah, and I know you've had some illnesses and stuff too. So let's talk about charity a little bit. I know that you must have some real strong ideas about charitable contributions.
The reason why we do this is because no child should be left without. There's no reason why this child has something and this child don't. If we can give it to them, we will. It's all for free. You know? We get donations from different organizations.
Like
Knights of Columbus. They donate
Knights
a
of
lot of
Columbus
stuff to us
is a good
to give out.
organization,
So anybody that gives us stuff to give out to the community or whoever needs it around surrounding areas, we make sure that they're known to, because it's not right if they're not.
Yeah.
So but she puts on a lot of events. Shandi does that. Whatever comes up in mind, whatever we see on, and I know a lot of kids don't have much, and everybody knows that.
Right.
A
When
lot
I
of
was a kid,
families,
I didn't
it's
have
rough.
anything but a slinky, and I think I fucked it up pretty early.
Yeah, I agree. You know, we used to go outside and play with sticks and water off and
That's
your
what we
buddies.
had.
But today it's just crazy.
My dad was a welder. All I had really was mud and a slinky, and that was about it. You know?
Yeah. So what we try to do in the community, I know a lot of nonprofit organizations do the same.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can't trust a lot of nonprofit organizations. As you've seen on TV, they're still getting exposed. Mm-hmm. But that's why we put at ease to everybody. If everybody knows who we are and what we're about, then that's what we try to do. Is
transparency
feed the community.
is the key.
Exactly. They say, well, okay, we can trust them versus nonprofit organizations. Not all of them.
Right.
Some of them, there is some good ones. But you got so many of them, who do you trust? Mm-hmm. And they don't have a good report with anything yet. They just somebody come up with a name and say, hey, let's just go ahead and do this, and nobody know who they are or nothing about them. So we start with our foot on the ground, and then we grow from there. I've been growing this name for a long time, and I told her, I said, and when I got with her, I said, the thing is I don't like having a bad name because people remember you. It's not if they remember you, it's how they remember you.
Yeah. It's like you said, you can do 1,000 good things and one bad one.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're screwed.
Now, doing crazy stuff when you're young is different.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to grow up.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to say, well, okay, I'm 45 or 50 years old. It's time to quit this. Well, you should have quit that a long time ago.
Right.
Everybody done crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've done some crazy stuff back in the day.
Me too.
Man, it got quiet in there.
Right, we were just hanging on.
I was like, oh,
seeing
shit.
What you gonna do?
That'd be another story. That's
That's
why I
another
run and they
podcast.
question me. Bubba, what did you really do?
Welcome to the Hank's Think Tank Confessional.
Right.
Yeah.
So we do have another event coming up on July 31st.
July
We're-
31st. It's about a month from now. Yeah.
At Texas Gunslingers LTC in the parking lot there. We're part of the Taylor's organization in
Okay.
our chapter. He's the president. I'm the VP. We've got a wonderful crew, and most of the Taylors are going to be there supporting it, but we're doing a back to school drive.
Okay.
And so we're going to have moon bounces, snow cones, vendors. We're going to have all kinds of things. And our
Where
whole,
exactly is this?
off 1314. It's there at that little old church. It's at 24420 FM 1314. It's right next to.
And that's in Porter, Texas.
Yeah, that is in Porter. Thank
Okay.
you.
Right next to the car wash, and it's
The oil
the oil
change.
change of place.
Yeah.
It's the office building right there. It's also has Porter drug screening there.
Or Village Park Office
That's right.
Suites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Village
If you
Park's
Google
office.
It's
Texas
right.
Gunslingers.
It's right, just west of the McDonald's, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
So if you Google Texas Gunslingers LTC, there's pictures of the building on there, and it's on Google Maps, so they can
Okay.
come there. But we're gonna have the kids out there with their signs and stuff. So we hope to raise a lot of money. Our goal this year, since it's our first year,
We're not paying them kids, so there's no child labor laws. They're doing it for free voluntarily.
we're hoping
Slave
to
labor,
hand out,
great.
We're hoping to hand out 500 or more backpacks or
Okay.
items to go in backpacks because
Or-
there's so many
Back to school.
families.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to school
Yeah.
things.
Pens, pencils. all that
Sometimes
kind
it's
Yeah,
going to be
paper,
bags
all
that
that.
we're just going to put the supplies in there for them. It help. It's a start.
Yeah.
It's a what you call a kickstart.
There you go.
Just get them off until they get a little something in. Because a lot of people, the checks are slow, not coming in as often as they want them to, or they have other things that they have to pay, like bills before them. And sometimes it's a lot of people in our community work hourly.
Yeah.
And so it's one of them deals. If you ain't got so much hours in, then you ain't gonna have so much money. So
Right.
so that's what.
Are you going to have vendors and stuff like that?
Yes, we
So
are.
are you selling vendor booths right now?
They're gonna be $50,
Okay.
and they're all outside. So we'll have bathrooms.
Bring a fan.
We'll have, yeah,
Great.
bring a fan
Yeah.
and a generator.
Okay.
But they just contact me at 832-367-1700 if they want to go ahead and get a booth and set up. It's going to be an amazing experience. We're going to have some music going on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a lot. It's just like, the reason why we do this, is for the kids, but, families, they're affected by COVID or layoffs, just everyday life. And, I was in the hospital for a while with a infection and COVID and
Right.
COVID pneumonia. And right after I was, I come home and I was in my little
I
solitary
was looking under the
confinement.
insurance policy, man, and she didn't have nothing. That's crazy. So I said I had to go, baby, get well. No, I'm just playing.
So as soon as I tested
Just playing.
negative, he's like, "Hey, we've got all these Easter baskets. What are we going to do with these?" I said, "We're going to hand them out." So I had 4 days. I called on our tailors
Yeah.
and in the community, and man, we got out over 500 to churches and just the kids in the community that needed it. You just had the major freeze that just went on.
Oh, yeah. That was
And
bad.
people were going
yeah.
without, and they didn't have water, and they were having to choose whether they were going to pay that $6,000 electric bill that people were talking
Or the
about,
plumber. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
to give
Yeah.
their kids an Easter and not make their holiday really disrupted because they don't have that $10-15 to go and do it. So we just did a setup with some toys and some candy, and we wrapped it in cellophane. I mean, we had people coming from everywhere, even North Houston, to come and help out. And it was a wonderful event, and I think that we can do this and many more events with the strength of the community and our tailors and us at Texas Gunslingers. And we enjoy what we're doing and working with the Knights of Columbus as
Right.
well.
Yeah,
doing
and
that.
we're hoping to have Alan Taylor on pretty soon too. So we just
Yeah.
need to get a date with him, and I think that we can make it happen.
Yeah, I think that would be
So-
awesome. I know he's looking forward to
Yeah.
doing that and telling about the organization.
Yeah.
Because we back up the military, first responders in the community. We've been on the news recently and
Was
backing up.
was that an okay
Cleveland.
thing?
Oh yeah, no, it's good.
Nobody was in handcuffs, Hank. Nobody was in handcuffs.
So we were on Fox News.
Really?
Can I go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Okay.
wanna hear it, yeah.
We were on Fox News, and part of that with the community. There's a strawberry farm that's out there, and we are battling the TCEQ and a couple other organizations that are wanting to put in a dump, essentially a construction dump from all different states that's right next to this strawberry farm. And so you've got the creek or the river coming through there.
And where are they wanting to put this in?
It's in Cleveland.
In Cleveland.
Yeah, and so
Huh.
as you know, I was the code enforcement officer for Roman Forest for a time.
Right.
And I ticketed quite a few construction workers at that time for EPA violations. Maybe their workers throwing out maybe paint thinners and things without the lid, and
Yeah.
it's dripping down into the ground, which goes into your water supply. So if you think of it on that aspect, on such a small community, and how many people that I had to ticket for violations such as this. If you think about other states and they're coming here and they're dumping this stuff, and then it's going to go into the San Jacinto River, and it's going to end up affecting millions of people.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about this.
Yeah,
this thing in
we
Cleveland.
were out
And it's
there.
unusual. I'm on the Cleveland Chamber of Commerce board, so
Okay.
I'm surprised it hasn't come up in any of those meetings
Yeah,
yet.
well, you can expect to hear something. We're trying to get together.
There had to be an
TCEQ.
environmental survey on that. What happened with that?
Well, they said that they got all the permits and everything.
The
and,
investors are from what state?
I think it's Missouri. I don't want to say for
it's out of
sure.
state. I
'cause
thought
They
it
put
was
that
Mississippi.
shit
I
in
thought it was
Missouri.
Mississippi. I thought it was Mississippi.
You know?
I don't know. It's a few different states was
Yeah,
what they were
just keep it
mentioning
in y'all
last night.
states is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't want their
So-
trash.
They're trying to get the community and stuff together because the city or the community, the county, is only required to put an advertisement in the paper, and it's a small one
Right.
in
And
the
who
back.
reads the paper anymore?
Exactly.
You know?
So that's how it slides through, because yes, they are doing it, but the community is not made aware. And if you think about it, these chemicals are going to be going into the ground, not just affecting millions of people, but think about like the farm being right there. Those chemicals are in the ground, and it's seeping into those strawberries, right? That
Right.
are going to be shipped out for people to eat.
Yeah.
So, we're very passionate about it, and I'm glad that I have the background that I have so that I can go in and help them and these small-time farmers or landowners. So hopefully, we may not win the fight, but at least they're going to know we were there, and we're going to do our best to win it.
Have you talked to the owners of the farm?
Oh yeah, they were out there with us with the news media and everything. They were out there, and we've got some attorneys and things working on some things, and I think Alan will be able to give more information about all of that
Okay.
when he meets with you.
Are you going to run against Bubba, state representative?
Well, I think he's gonna be the talking. I don't know. Maybe I'll be in his ear telling him what to say.
Yeah, they wear those. They wear those.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
She's gonna go. Look, I'm gonna tell you this one more time.
This is a speaking point, so we need to do that. But
Well, I was unaware of any of that going on, so that's a good deal.
Yeah.
I'm glad that there's somebody trying to head that up and go against it, because I don't think we need that. I don't know if you realize, but just outside of Plum Grove used to be a Superfund site. Remember the old Superfund sites of the
Yep.
70s? And if you look and you look at the demographic, there's a lot more people in this area that have cancers, different types of
No,
cancers.
you're right.
And if you look at the other Superfund sites, it's kind of the same in those areas.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets into the groundwater, and it disturbs the ecological balance of everything.
People that
So-
that maintain and operating on this, or whatever you want to call them, that have these, like what she's talking about, the dumping of construction. They don't live there. They don't
Right.
even live close to it.
Right.
If they cared about the people and humanity, they wouldn't put it there in the first place.
Right.
I had an idea years ago. Y'all want to hear?
Yeah.
I think it'd be the best idea in the world. I say all your garbage, trash, and your chemicals and everything, throw it in an active volcano. It'll incinerate
Just
whatever it
incinerate
is.
it right
It'll
then and there.
incinerate everything. And actually, somebody told me yesterday, they said, well, it's going to build up and blow. I said, no, it don't. I said, your pressure from under the earth will build up and blow. I said, that's not going to do it. That just incinerated all. And I said, you won't have nothing left for anything, no matter what it is.
Who are you going to pick to walk up to the edge there and dump all that in?
Well, I already had an idea.
I got a couple of people in mind.
You got it, John? Got that wheelbarrow burnt?
Don't worry, I've got the
Tire
rope.
kind of going flat. Look a little melty.
I got you. You won't fall in.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, shoot. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
basically what we do. We try to focus on everything.
Help the
I said, you ever going to slow down? I said, well, every time I see there's a little bit of time that I have, I try to use it.
And fill it up with
I
something.
try to fill it up with something.
Yeah.
There you
You
go.
know? And I told her the other day, I said, I don't know how to stop. It's just the way I am. I'm a Libra.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You know, I mean, it'll keep you healthy. You know how it is for old guys, man. They quit, and all of a sudden, that's it. You know?
I've seen them old guys.
Oh yeah,
No, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see,
gotta
if they
keep moving
quit,
around.
you did. I mean,
That's it.
There was a guy at the county who told me the same thing. He was like 71 years old. I said, why don't you retire? He goes, because all my friends that retired, dead in a year.
yeah.
I'll be damned if he didn't retire. 6 months later, we're going to the funeral. No shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
It happens.
Wow.
True.
No.
Are you gonna have Shonda be one of your pallbearers if you die, so she can let you down just one more time?
Oh, that's good. Ain't it?
I did like that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
It's a
I don't know. I got there's longevity in my family, so
Really?
He'll
Yeah.
probably outlive me.
Yeah. So are you related to all the other Tullises, like the Tullis place over there on Lodge
Lane's
Road
Garage.
and all that? You're related to all them guys? There's a lot of Tullises
a
around
lot
here.
of Tullises, a lot of kinfolk, a lot of them been in prison.
Really? Because I think a lot of them are cops too, aren't they?
You got one half and you got the other half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what made you decide to go in law enforcement?
something I always wanted to do.
Really?
Just like
when
the
I
military.
first met you, I told my wife Jackie when we left, I said, I bet that guy's a cop. You just look like a cop to me. You know? And I don't know if that's a good thing
With
or
this
not.
porn stash? No, I didn't have that.
But yeah, I
I
thought
wasn't
you-
always the cop.
I
No.
thought you were a cop then, and I think you were an iron worker at that point,
Yeah,
right?
still am.
Yeah, so you're
Yep.
still doing that?
Yep.
Damn,
still
walking
I'm still
steel.
field superintendent for Empire Steel.
Yeah.
Reserve officer for Central City County Sheriff's Department, which I enjoy. Place where I was with Roman Forest
Yeah.
for about 3 years.
Right.
Crazy, huh? And I enjoyed it there.
Yeah.
And I just let Chief know that, you know, I'd like to go ahead and get established over there. That way, when it comes time, I can just
Makes sense.
just transition to that.
Yeah.
And
I know everybody really, really liked you at Roman Forest.
oh yeah, I like
And we
good
miss
group
them.
of guys.
Oh,
Been
yeah.
knowing them forever. You know, it's something else. I enjoy everybody.
Yeah.
It's sometimes when you've been in a place so long, it's kind of hard to leave. You don't want to leave.
Yeah, it's like family. Yeah.
But then you just got to do it.
Right.
You know, just got to kick the bucket and do it. Not literally kick the bucket, you know, or
I don't
You
want to
know,
be doing what he
dead
just
kick.
said
What?
anytime soon.
what? Oh no, not that kick the bucket either. You know, no time soon. Trust
Yeah.
me.
I mean, he's really busy. You know, he get out of basic training on Sunday, and then
I ran, and I haven't ran in years. 9.37.
Really?
Yep. One
Did
mile.
it feel weird? Because last time I ran, I was like, what in the hell's going on? It's like my bones
No.
felt weird.
There was a guy that was 67 years old that was in basic training with him.
Really?
Yeah,
67.
they were
No
holding
kidding.
each other up, I think.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I did over half. I made it faster than over half. 9.37.
Yeah,
for
that's
nobody
pretty
that's
good.
ran it since the police academy.
Yeah.
I thought
Pretty
you were
good.
going to tell us you did the 100-yard dash in 9.37.
Seconds. I can do
Yeah.
that. I can do that.
That's awesome.
But always, it's a mental thing. I always say, you know, that's like me drinking. I quit drinking. And I used to tell people that in my class.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
When she took my class and everything, and I said, well, you know, I don't drink anymore. I quit drinking totally. And she said, she came up to me, she said, makes you sound like you was an alcoholic. I go, it did, didn't it? But in my mind, if I'm going to quit something, if I'm going to slow down, I just quit. you
Sure.
know. There
Yeah.
ain't no sense of even trying to pad it. Okay, I'm just going to quit drinking. I used to go out to the bars and clubs years ago, back in the 80s and 90s, and then I just said, I ain't gonna spend no more money in it. So if I quit that, I just quit.
Now I have a designated driver.
That's right. I'm a good DD. You say
And
it.
you're pretty busy yourself. I know that you stay on top of things and
Yeah.
do quite a lot.
Well, I'm kind of his
So-
secretary,
Yeah.
He's busy with the Shriners and Masons, and so I have to keep the calendar on that with his military and between my appointments at the VA and the kids and
Yeah.
the house and the classes and things.
She definitely makes my schedule.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I tell her,
Yeah.
next thing I go, I look in my phone, and she got it on my calendar, like I really look at it anyway. And she got it on my calendar, and I go, oh, that calendar filled up.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the heck?
It's so funny because I can tell him, hey, we have an appointment like the other night. I said, hey, we have an appointment. We need to go to this. And he's like, oh, okay. 5 minutes later, just to test him to see what we're doing, I said, what do we have going on this day and time, which is the next day? And he says, nothing. What do we got going on? I'm like, I just told you we have this appointment. He's like, I don't know. You just got to get in the car and tell him it's time to go. And he's like, where are we going? Well,
That's
we
because
got
I'm so
that thing.
busy. I'm just so busy. I got so much on my mind when I'm doing it. I just stay busy. I'm always thinking about doing something on the next level, or what can I do tomorrow? What am I going to do? Can we make this happen? Okay, what about this? Can we go ahead and maybe get some kids involved in doing this? I'm always just whatever pops in my head.
There you go.
If I don't say it at the time, I'm gonna forget it. So I had to say it. Yeah. And then I asked her. I said, "What did I say the other day?" She goes, oh. You need to write it down on your notepad.
Because I can't keep up.
Well, guys, I'm glad y'all came out.
You got it.
I had a good time talking. I learned some stuff today that I definitely didn't know. And
It's nice meeting you both.
Nice
It's,
meeting you too.
it's obvious why you two are, popular people in the community. And I just want to say, from one guy in the community, I appreciate the things you do for kids and for the community itself. Your LTC business, I hope will continue forward and do really well. And before I turn this thing down, Shondi, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody the name of the company, where y'all are at, phone numbers, hours. So if anybody wants to take an LTC class or a gun safety class or any of the other stuff we talked about here, go ahead.
Now, don't give them the address to the corner.
Oh my God, he's
All right.
terrible.
Remember, it's got a sign up.
Yes, he means what he's saying. All right, so we're Texas Gunslingers LTC, and we are at 24420 FM 1314. We also have the Identico in that location, the same building, and we're in Porter, Texas. Our phone number is 832-367-1700 or 281-961-8078. If you call that latter number, he's going to end up having you call the first number.
All depends what it is. All
We're
depends, but
scheduling and getting that done, but we can do classes 7 days a week. I do them during the week, depending on what my schedules are with appointments and things like that. But they're typically 9 to 3 every day of the week, but they just have to call. It's a one-stop shop, so at this point, it's for all your state fees and everything. It's $165, and that's Cash App, because we do donate back to the PD and for police trainings, and to
That's
the VFW also for veterans.
that's when we do it for the PD.
Right.
When we do it for the police department, we give, because they asked us and we do it for them.
Right.
Or whoever, any organization.
Yeah, if you're a
that they need.
501c3 and you're doing a fundraiser, we can hold those too at your location or even at ours, because we have quite a big room. But we can hold those there, and we give a portion of that towards their 501c3.
Okay.
And then businesses, or if they want to do like a private event and have lunch and things brought in, we can make a day of it and just have fun. We like
Have
to
fun,
laugh and
talk
have
a lot
good
of crap.
time.
There you go.
Yep.
So just
And
call
what
us
about
for scheduling.
and what about Facebook? Y'all available on Facebook?
Yeah, we are. Thank you.
Okay.
We're under Texas Gunslingers, LTC. We have our Identico Porter location as well on there.
Okay.
Too.
Cool.
Bubba and Shondi.
Oh, yeah. And then Bubba and Shondi. And it's Bubba
On Facebook.
and then space and the letter N. And then Shondi, I'm sure you don't know how to spell it. It's Seandee, and then Tullos, Tullos. And you can find us sometimes on TikTok too, and YouTube under the Texas Gunslingers.
Awesome.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I had a good time, guys, and I'm really glad y'all got to come out. And I look forward to having you back out when you're running for state representative. And we'll have to figure out if you're going to run as a Republican or an independent. Or I heard there's a third party that's kind of brewing.
I did too.
So we'll see what goes on with that. And
What's up with the wigs? They don't make them anymore.
I know it'd be cool to wear one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Shoot.
I think
I thought about that a long time ago. I'm thinking,
the
man,
white
what's
powder
deal
with the
wig
curly
looking?
things.
Yeah.
You look like you're in charge of one of those ones.
Did
I'm
you
sorry,
see
go
him
ahead.
on with Taylor's when we just did our latest fundraiser and we did YMCA? I was a female cop and he was a motorcycle cop. It was super cute. That's out there on Facebook too.
I have to check that out.
Well, we definitely appreciate coming in here
Yeah,
with you, Hank.
thank
We,
Hey, no
you
problem.
know, we like the hell out of Hank, guys.
There you go.
He's a good guy.
Yes, and Mark, it's so nice meeting you.
You too.
I like the hell out of Hank, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up. So if you haven't subscribed to Hank's Think Tank, like I said before, I don't know why. Get after it.
I don't know
it's
why.
Just it's just a damn button.
Questionable.
Hell's
What's the matter
wrong,
with
man?
people?
Yeah.
Get up off your hind ends and do
You
the
know
right
the thing about it, while I'm on my soapbox, I'm going to say it. I know a lot of people who are friends of mine who still haven't watched this damn podcast.
Here.
They
So
need
what-
to subscribe.
Well, what's going on with that?
Cheers, right?
So,
On
there you
that
go.
one.
Cheers, yeah. Push a damn button. It don't cost
There you
nothing.
go. So, guys, it was fun. We had a good one, and I think we're about done, and we're out.